Okay, this is my first live. I'm trimming two Remington shells, which have been fired once for some yesterday, twice for some of the others. Um, I'm seeing if anyone's going to follow or not. Basically, once I have tables, and the distance here from the bottom to the top of the case must be like 43.18, and we can see here it's been just trimmed, so that's not very nice. Let's check again. There we go. There we go. It needs to be deburred with a deburring tool. And once I've done that, then the projectile will be able to go in there. I don't know if anyone is following. We'll just double check. These ones are the finished ones. These ones have been trimmed, and these ones are the ones which are to be trimmed. So let's go on. There isn't much to be removed, and there aren't many followers either. I did not program this. I thought, well, we'll just take it as it comes and just do the trimming live to see if there are questions in regards to whatever the primers, the powder, the bullets which I'm going to be using. I don't know how many people are watching. Maybe something like 0, and that means I'm a bit alone in this world. But it's going pretty quick. Today I've been doing some molding as well of 18mm bullets for my 1822 Napoleon rifle, and they all weigh 48 grams per bullet. And I thought tonight the case trimming would be a good idea, just to show you how that works. See, there isn't much left here underneath, but there is some here. So if we just double check, see, that's the sort of thing I have removed. And then what I'll do is I'll just deburr them with my deburring tool. Hopefully there'll be people watching. We've been up for about 3 minutes, and I'm not seeing anyone. So maybe it takes time, or maybe it's not interesting. Maybe it's only case streaming, but at least you can see how it's done. I have just near here all the pilots because I'd be able to trim any sort of, as you can tell here, I've got all the pilots, and I could trim any other shells like 9mm, 45, 44, and so on and so on. But usually case trimming is only used for the long shells. For the short shells, what I usually do is I just use maybe 500 or 800 sandpaper, and just make them shorter, but by what it needs, and that's pretty quickly done. Okay. Okay, this is it. It's quick enough. So just before I put all these shells in a tumbler all morning, just for a few hours. Then I reformed the neck and the collar so that that fit well into the chamber of the M16. Show you again, that's what the end work is going to be like. And that's a sort of bullet which I'm going to put in there which is the Honda D55 line. We love them. Here we go. So that's what we shot yesterday at 200 meters, then at the range. They're quite accurate. Nothing really comes out of the 8. I've almost finished the trimming. This one, you can tell. I removed some of the material here, and you can tell. Just here you go. See, it's become flat at the neck. There we go. It's become flat. I'll try to show you this better. Yes, this is good. And of course, what I'll do now is I'll just use my deburring tool again, inside and outside. And then there you go. It's nice and neat inside. If I can get this right again, maybe a bit closer. Oh, it's not bad. Okay. I've only got 10 more to do before I start deburring them all, just to make sure. Just want to make sure that they are all done, because when I'll be fitting the bullets and the powder, I'll be really happy. That the necks and collars are really well done. Okay, I've got 3 more to go. That's simple enough. Now I could use some sort of a drill with a deburring bit, just to make sure that it's done. But I like to do it good. This one, as you can tell, you see, I've removed just. There we go. See, this one is just really squared. But we get that done in a minute. You can tell I'm removing the size. So maximum size is 43.18 millimeters, and this is exactly what we're doing, making sure it's just a little bit shorter. And we're done. That was for the case trimmer. So let's move this out of the way. And now let's correctly. I'll do them one by one. It's not a big job. It's quite quick, but this is what really makes a difference, because that will fit nicely inside, and we make sure that all the shells are exactly on the same size. They've got the same job, and we're making sure that quality-wise, they're exactly properly the same. I'm using the same shells, the same branding. These ones are Finnish shells, Sako, S-A-K-O, which I'm sure you would know. In 222, I usually buy those bullets, which are Seiko range. I think they're 50 grain, and then I reuse the shells. We're done. So the next job will be to prime everything. I wish there were people watching, but I think I'm still on my own. Maybe I should have talked about this to some friends, but I guess I'm just I didn't know I was going to do this today, so I have a tendency to use the Seiko shells because when they eject from the Colt carbine, they have a tendency to hit the deflector on the side, and they have a big dent in them. So the PPU shells have a huge dent than the Seiko, which the Seiko don't have. So that's why I have a tendency to only keep the Seiko shells. See, we're going quite quickly. As you can tell, we've just done almost a third of what's to be done. That's what it looks like anyway. We live. No one's talked to me yet. That's okay. The competitions are for 2026 are coming up soon. This is going to be obviously for the service rifle. There are two competitions. There are two competitions with this rifle. One will be open sight, so just use the normal sights on the rifle, and the second one will be using the scope that it comes with. I have a cheap copy which does the job. It's not great, but keeps it in the middle. Um, Always firing at 200 meters. Basically, you shoot everything. You get 5 bullets for to test to see where you are on when you hit the target for the first time. And then you have a few minutes in precision to fire 10 rounds, 5 plus 5. And then you do the rapid firing where you can fire 5 at a time really quickly. When I say really quickly, it might be something like 10 in 1 minute, but or something like that. It's nothing major, but look, we all do it, so this is good. So all this has been trimmed, and now we're doing the deburring part. Now it takes some time to be done, but each one of these bullets would be normally something like 1.10 or 1.20 euro a bullet. Once I do them myself, it's pretty cost effective, and I think it's only 0.39 euro to rebuild. That's not counting my time, of course, to rebuild all of these shells and to be able to fire them again. I'm using the RCBS repriming tool. just there. That's for later. Still doing good here. And we're almost done. So all these shells maximum will be 43.18, and we just want to make sure that they are exactly sharp on and spot on the threshold on the bullet itself, and we want to make sure that they adjust by lowering the screw. Just make sure that we have just the right crimping, not too much, not nothing either, and to make sure we make them all just the same. We don't want any sort of an issue like uh, have some bullets which would be less powerful than others, or more or less recoil, or we don't want. We want to make sure that the rifle does the cycles perfectly, and this is what it's all about. And this is why we are very particular about doing every step very right, because we want to make sure that from the first to the last shot we get exactly the same type of fire, the same type of round, and pushing it. This is not right, but we'd like to be able to say that we can put every single bullet through the same hole at 200 meters, which of course we can't, but that's a bit of the aim. Almost done. Next step will be to do the priming of all these nice shells. I might do it as well in live, so that we can keep a little video, and between the little video I made before, just doing the trimming, the video I'm doing now, where I'm finishing the whole of the box, plus the priming. I might as well do the video also of adding the powder and adding the projectile, and then we'd have a finished job, which would be good. All these steps I'm doing are the same for the 223 rifles. I'm doing 222 here, but for the 223, except from the size of the shell, would be the same, except with the size of the bullet, the amount of the powder, and I think the neck would have to be. We're talking 43.18, and I think the neck of 223 is, I believe, 47 millimeters. It's a bit bigger, or 556 would have to be the same size, but can carry more powder and more power. So the 222 I'm doing right now, they used to be the match uh, the match cartridges years ago, and they haven't lost their power, and they haven't lost their precision. I'm using this into my Colt, and the twist rate is one twist in 12 inches. Yes, for one twist for 12 inches, and that means I should be able to put loads which are 52 grains, and up to 55 grains, which is what I have in my hands right now. So we're almost done. So if someone needs to check the deburring of triple two or triple 223, I should say, or 556, it's exactly the same job. And that's done. I hope everyone smiling. I'll just shut down the video, and maybe we'll talk soon. We've got two more here which I didn't see. That won't take long. Here we go. And next up will be priming these. And that's that. Thank you.